again. I'm sorry, but I'm still busy figuring everything out. You know how busy I've been because of this move, but I promise I will make it up to you as soon as I figure things out and find out what really happened. Newspaper for today, March 17th. I'll go get it. Oh, so someone does live here. I've never seen you around, have I? Oh, yeah, we just moved here. That's cool. Welcome to Belmare, the weirdest town you could have moved to. Weirdest? Mm-hmm. There's always some sort of case happening here. Scooby-Doo-like, if you ask me. Oh, that's cool. Then they're like riddles, fun to solve. Yeah, I guess. But who doesn't like a good adventure though, right? Well, I better get going. Still have many more newspapers to deliver. Guess I'll be seeing you around. See you. You can count on seeing Teslamon every day dropping off your daily newspaper. I didn't know grabbing a newspaper could take so long, but what do you know? It doesn't really. I was talking to the girl that dropped off the newspaper. That's nice. It'd be good for you to make some friends now that we moved here. Yeah. Hey Mom, what was Dad's job here again? A lawyer. You already knew that. Just forgot. How much trouble could a lawyer possibly get into in a small town like this one? Welcome to Belmare's first riddling game. Not every crossword actually has a message. That's a first. Good morning, new resident. And what brings you outside before your newspaper even arrived? Well, I wanted to go outside a bit to see what the town is like. I haven't really gone anywhere other than my house. Well, if that's the case, I wouldn't recommend for you to do that on your own because you'd get extremely bored. I say you come along with me. I have to deliver these all around town, so I can show you around. Sure, that sounds interesting. It's not like I have anything else to do anyways. Great, then let's get going. So why did you and your mom move here? My dad used to work here. We didn't live that far away, but my mom decided to move here after some time passed after he passed away. And what's weird is that no one knows what actually happened. I'm sorry, and it's not just whatever happened to your dad. Also what happened with my grandma. Good morning, Tess darling. Good morning, Mrs. Delilah. I'm not sure if that's even her name. And what happened to your grandma? No one knows anything other than that it was a murder. An investigator took the case, but no one knows what happened to him. How long ago was that? 10 years ago. I was only 4, but I am determined to figure out what really happened. And of course, report on it once I become a reporter. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out someday. Thanks, but that's only the first of many cases I want to uncover. Maybe I'll even find out what really happened to your dad. Yeah, let me know when you figure that out. Mr. Theo, I present to you one of the oldest libraries you'll ever go into. Wait, we're going in? I mean, you wanted to go somewhere other than your house, and neighborhoods don't really count as a place. Wow, and this is only the entrance? This place is huge. Yeah, and the best part of this place is near the back where they have the town's history of cases, mainly the unsolved ones. please. Oh, that was just the town's clock tower. If it rang right now, it means it's 6 p.m. It's 6 already? I have to get going then. It's going to be dark soon, and my mom doesn't exactly trust me around town yet, since we're pretty new. Thanks for showing me around though, Tess. Of course, don't worry about it. Also, considering I don't know my way back home yet. Well, it's been emotional. I'll see you around. Later, Tess. Answers you want, the books have? What's that even supposed to mean? Well, it's only a puzzle. Oh, good morning. I grabbed the newspaper for you. Thanks, Mom. And today we're going to Dad's old office, so get ready. They both disappeared while she was near. What was that? Nothing. Yes, your registration should be ready for tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Theo, I'm going to go do something quick. Is it alright if you stay here? You can look at the articles we have over there. They're pretty interesting. Maybe I'll see what type of cases Tess was talking about. That's odd. There's no crossword puzzle here. Excuse me. Do you know where the crossword puzzle is in here? The one they usually include to, crossword, huh? Sorry, kid, but this newspaper has never had a crossword in all its years running. But the newspaper I get always has one in it. Huh, well then you must be getting a different newspaper, cause it ain't this one. Welcome to Belmir's first riddling game? I think that's what it was. Which was the first day. The first day I got this newspaper. Answers you want, that day, day 2, we went around the neighborhood and to the library. The library has files. It was books. It has books. Answers you want, the books have. The first actual riddle. They both disappeared while she would sneer. What's that supposed to mean? But if it's a riddling game, all of these would have to be connected somehow. But why would Tess give me these puzzles? It was lovely meeting you. I'll come back tomorrow for the rest of the things. Of course, no problem. The answers you want that I want. Excuse me, are there files of cases lawyers from here have taken in the past? Oh yes, there are. Other than here, if you don't want to get into too much trouble finding them, the local library has them as well. Didn't know the Lamons could all cause so much trouble in such a small amount of time. Can I help you with something? Yes, I'm looking for Miss Tess Lamont. Who's asking? I'm Melissa Brooks. I work for Belmir's juridical department. I just came here to ask if I could have tomorrow's newspaper. For my job. Well, you're talking to she, and although that's my job, I'm not allowed to give you anything before time, Miss Brooks. Well, I'm part of the reason all those cases are even on the news to begin with, and my job gives me permission to have a couple 10 pages a day earlier, Miss Lamont. Well, if that's the case, I guess it won't hurt anyone. Oh, and I'll give you $5 if you let me choose which newspaper I want. If that's okay by you, of course. Sure, I guess. I'll take this one. Okay then, front door's that way. 204, that's Theo's house. But why would she want one in specific? It's not like they're different. Maybe that one wasn't crooked on the edges. Well, he was on to something. Good thing he didn't get any further. Lamonts and Robinsons don't go well together. Why the sudden urge to go to the library? Just wanted to go somewhere other than the office before going home, and I wanted to distract myself. Yeah, reading is a fun way to distract yourself. I'm going to look at some other books. I'll be in the next aisle. Maybe if I search the cases by names. Arthur Robinson, lawyer and past detective? Lamont, that name sounds Tess. Tess's last name is also Lamont. You can count on seeing Tess Lamont every day dropping off your daily newspaper. Also what happened with my grandma. No one knows anything other than that it was a murder. 10 years ago, a woman was murdered. Tess's grandmother alongside was the investigator who had taken the case. My dad? Honey, I think it's time to go. It's getting late and we should be getting home soon. The answers you want the books have. Hey Mom, Dad was only a lawyer, right? Of course he was only a lawyer. All these questions about him that you already have answers to. Hey there, new kid. Didn't expect to see you running like that for absolutely no reason. Yeah, well, I was wondering if you have my newspaper for today yet. I wanna read it. Yeah, about that. I'm kind of running short today on copies, but I guess I can give you my copy instead if you want. I don't have yours, unfortunately. I'm guessing you didn't have enough time to make today's riddle then. Excuse me? Look, Tess, I know you're the one who puts those crossword puzzles in my newspaper every single day. Theo, I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. The crossword puzzles? So you don't know about your grandmother's case and how it's connected to mine? Hold up, what? Yeah, I'll take that as a no. Here, come in. I need to show you something. Oh, who are you? Good morning, Mrs. Robinson. I'm Tess, the girl who drops off the newspaper. And that's basically what I found out yesterday. So you get riddles in the newspaper which helped you find out how your father died and what happened to my grandmother in just 3 days? But then, who would be sending you those puzzles? I think I might have a potential suspect. You do? Yup, but for that story, we're going to need to go to the library. We have to figure out who's sending you these crossword puzzles and why. I mean, we could just ignore it and pretend nothing happened. We have to get going. We're not going to accomplish anything with that attitude of yours. Whoa, so your dad was an investigator? The one who was trying to help solve my grandmother's case? I'm assuming that the fourth riddle must have had something to do with that. And that's assuming that there was a fourth riddle to begin with. Right, about that. Yesterday a woman came to ask for today's newspaper a day early. She wanted to choose which one she would take, and because all of them are numbered, she just so happened to exactly take the one that was supposed to go to you. Did she say who she was? She said her name was Melissa Brooks, and she worked for this juridical place in town having to do with the law and investigations and all of that stuff. That's where I went yesterday with my mom. You did? Well, if she's involved with any of this stuff, she should be in one of these files. Found it! Apparently, she's a part of most cases, especially the unsolved ones. Well, we found absolutely nothing. Theo, is everything... That's the lady we're looking at. She's the one who came to get your newspaper. That's her? Hey, if the library doesn't have her information, we would probably be able to find it somewhere else, which would be her office. And how are we supposed to get into her office without getting caught? Well, it's now or never. You decide whether you want to find out what really happened or not. Fine, but we have to hurry up. My mom should be getting to the office any minute now. Oh, Theo, I didn't expect to see you here. And hi there, Tess. Yeah, Tess and I will just be here waiting. Yeah, but where are the bathrooms? They're to your right. Look, I'm going to go to the office of our suspect. You will stay here and be on the lookout if you see suspect walk in. When you see them, cough or something. We'll use this to communicate meanwhile. Keep it in your pocket so no one sees it, but keep it on you the whole time. Where did you get walkie-talkies from? A reporter has to always be prepared. Well, that one looks an awful lot like Theo. Grandma? Why is she here? Everything good out there? Yeah, everything's still clear. Have you found anything useful? I found a note, but I'm still looking. Theo, this lady has a photo of us too. Wait, photos of us? So it's for sure she knows what we're doing, but why? I'm not sure why they're here, but, Tess... Shoot, she's here. I'll see you at the reception room. First order of business. I think I found the crossword puzzle it's supposed to be giving to you today. Cases and societies aren't what they seem. What do the rest of the messages say? Welcome to Belmare's first riddling game. Answers you want the books have. They both disappeared while she would sneer. And now cases and societies aren't what they seem. But what society is it referring to? At the office, I found a picture frame, and the picture was of the lady, a guy standing next to her, and of your dad and my grandma. I don't think it could be Melissa being the one sending you these riddles. She would want you to actually solve them and piece it all together, but clearly she didn't want you to get the last message. The one that happens to be the one telling us to look further into the case and this society. So what do we do next? My best guess is that we have to get to this meeting place. That'll take days. What am I supposed to tell my mom? That you're solving a mystery regarding what really happened to your dad and on the way becoming a detective. Yeah, cause after that she's totally going to let me. So are you in? I'm in. Tomorrow I'll meet you at my house. Bring the clues and other things we might need. Preferably snacks too. I'm going to hang out with Tess. Okay, just don't get home too late. Stay safe, alright? Finally! What took you so long, new kid? Yeah, well, we have to make this as quick as possible, or else I'll feel really bad for lying to my mom. Technically, you didn't completely lie. You did tell her where you're going, just not face to face. The Grand Bell? Yeah, and hey, isn't this the hotel where the case we're investigating happened? Well, looks like it won't be as hard to go from the meeting point to the crime scene. We can just investigate both at the same time. From this moment on, we can't separate, okay? We don't know what to expect from anyone. Melissa invited other people too? Hi there, I'm Ronald. Do y'all come to the meeting as well? Yeah, we're here for the meeting. I'm Tess Lamont, and you are Theo Robinson. Pleasure to meet you both. Melissa, you never told me we would have new members. I didn't know either. Wasn't expecting them to have the guts to show up after breaking into my office, but here we are. That's the guy that was in the photo I told you about in Melissa's office. If he's working with Melissa, can we trust him? I'm not sure. We do know that not everyone who was working with her was on her side, though. I am so glad that both of you are okay. After everything that happened, I wasn't sure you were going to make it. Especially you, Theo. Excuse me? I'm sorry if we or I came off as pushy. I was just trying to make sure both of you made it to this meeting. I needed for you to be missing a clue in order to make you want to show up. So you're the one who sent me the coded messages? You were writing them coded messages? Why did I not know about this? And why exactly did you want us to come? Well, I know that you, Tess, are really passionate about finding out more about the unfortunate case of your grandmother, and Theo, about what really happened to your father. My dad was a part of a society with you two then? Wait, he's a Robinson kid, and that would make you a Lamont. Well, the reason I wanted both of you here is that if you're Robinson's son, you must have some similar skills that he had, and I wanted to prove that through the puzzles I sent you. I want you, and you two Tess, to figure out what really happened that unfortunate night 10 years ago. Exactly. But wait, how are they gonna do that? Well, by of course analyzing all the evidence that they want, of course. I mean, it's also logic that we came here to solve it as well. A man dying right after the detective was killed and after his wife was killed as well. My grandfather was not guilty of the murder. Detective Robinson was right to defend him innocent. It was a shame they uncovered the truth and were murdered before being able to give the evidence, which happens to be a reoccurring case in murders here at Belmare. Alright, she's not bad, boss. Yes, that is why she's going to help solve this case. I still don't trust Melissa. Something's off. Societies are not what they seem. Societies are not what they seem. We thought it was bad, but she's actually good apparently, so that might be what it's actually referring to. Or it might not. You never told me what really happened that night. And that's for you to uncover someday, like those little kids who don't know what they're getting themselves into. He didn't know 10 years ago what he was getting into either. I swear I'm innocent. I didn't do it. Someone help me. I know you're innocent, and I'm going to help you, but in order to prove it, I'm going to need your help to solve the case, Mr. Lamont. What do you think happened, Detective? I mean, it's pretty obvious it was Mr. Lamont. Probably wanted the rest of the fortune. It wasn't Norman, and it's my job to prove him innocent. But there's no proof that says otherwise that works in the case's favor. No proof that's open to the eye of someone who doesn't look closely. Ronald, I'm going to need you to keep a close eye at Melissa throughout this case. What? How come, boss? I'm not sure. I just wouldn't trust her right now, but I hope I'm wrong. Of course it's here. I promise I didn't do it, Detective. Please help me win this case. It's alright, Mr. Lamont. I'm going to need to know everything that you know happened before and during the murder took place if we want to find who did it. May I come in? Do you have any ideas of who could have done this and why? Yes, it all started 2 years ago. What do you want, Tess? Come on, Theo, we have to get a head start on the day. It's 4 a.m. Can we wait till morning? But during the morning, everyone will be all around the hotel and we won't be able to look properly. Wait, so we're not waiting for Melissa and that other guy? Of course not! Do you actually trust them? Because I don't even a bit. Meanwhile, we'll investigate the case our way. What? We don't even have a way to start with. And I like the guy working with Melissa. Oh, fine. But they even got us a room here too. That doesn't mean they're not lying to us. Melissa knew we were coming and I don't think she wanted us to. Look, I'm going to go into the room where the crime scene happened and... Isn't that room being used or something? No, they haven't opened it since the accident happened. They must have the key somewhere here. Okay, and what am I going to do? Lobby room. They usually have something there that might help with the case. You do realize that it's been 10 years and most of the clues haven't cleared up, right? But it took 10 years for you to get those crossword puzzles. That must mean something. Places in society hide thousands of words. So Tess was right about the clues, but why would someone take so long to say something? It's been 10 years. I think I might know a few things that could help. Grandma, she did know Melissa. He told me to keep an eye, but I didn't know what that meant. I was confused on why he thought she had done it. Oh, hey, I didn't realize we had company. I know what you guys are doing and I can help. I helped Detective Robinson investigate the same exact thing 10 years ago. Fine, but if you're going to help us out, you have to tell us what you know about Melissa and promise you won't say a word to her. What did you find here? The clue you found 2 days ago wasn't the last. I found another one in today's newspaper. If I'm going to be a part of this though, can I know what you guys are at least talking about? Not yet. 14-year-olds these days, so judgmental. Places in society hide thousands of words. Well, this is a place in society hiding things people don't realize. Things worth articles, news, 1,000 words, if not more. Yeah, and Ron also told me what happened the night of the crime scene. We all know what happened that night. What we have to figure out is what happened before it and why. We know the main details, but not the fact that early Detective Robinson was suspicious of Melissa and wanted to investigate her, and something happened to him. The night before, he was going to prove his client innocent. Then why are you still working with Melissa? Because I didn't actually think it was her. Robinson had never been able to prove otherwise. And why are you turning on her now, after all this time of working together? There's no case needed to be solved or anything to be proven. Everything works in Melissa's favor until you two showed up. And Melissa's hotel room just so happens to be the same room the detective had stayed in. Where did you get that key from? Melissa had it in her desk. I thought it might be something in the crime scene locked up or something she'll need, so I took it with me. Well, I found this photo of the society and my grandmother's journal. Why does the journal say my grandmother was in trial? Before this case, Melissa was assigned the case of a robbery at a bank a couple years before. Because as we all know, your grandmother was one of the wealthiest women in Belmere, she went to the point right after the robbery. But my grandmother did not steal anything. Everyone knew, but she had been seen moments before the robbery, which didn't make her look good. Then Melissa was assigned the case in favor of proving your grandmother innocent, and she was making her look guilty purposely. Everyone could see it, but the jury did nothing. I didn't know it was that complex. Cases are never so superficial. Your codes even say it, but why would someone murder my grandmother knowing that everything would be taken away from her either way? And that's the question Detective Robinson didn't answer on time. Oh, I'm going to lose everything that I have worked for, and all of this because of a silly accusation. And stressing over it won't change anything. The jury already made their final decision. Everyone knows that she's lying, but no one will listen, and all because of one person. My life is ruined, and I can't do anything about it. Well, I would say this is the last time we're seeing each other. Lamont, Anne, it has been a pleasure getting to know you, and I accept my pay through a check if you may. We are not giving you 1 cent, and that is final. Excuse me? I did my job. I'm a lawyer. I fight for a case, and if we don't win, it's a boo-hoo for you. Melissa, you know very well how hard I have worked for that money all these years, all my life, just for that moment of success. If I thought you deserved it, we would have won this case, and I can make a lawsuit against you for not paying me, Anne. I'd like to see you try. Melissa, the one who contracted you doesn't even have money anymore. And to think of the fact that I trusted you. What happened, Melissa? What happened to you? You just can't take the fact that someone doesn't like rich Mrs. Lamont. Melissa, please leave. Now. That won't be the last she sees of me. Anne, what are you doing? Norman, get your things ready. We're going to the Grand Bell to finish things off once and for all. He was so close to uncovering what happened. What a shame he didn't get the chance to do so. And you two don't know what you're getting yourself into. So she made her lose on purpose for no reason? Well, I wouldn't say for no reason. They must have had something happen before the case that triggered it. But what we do know is that the event triggered our main case, the murder. But then why would Melissa lead us right back into a case she doesn't want solved? She never wanted you to find out about the case and even less try to solve it. Then why would she send me those crossword puzzles leading us here? Crossword puzzles? It's a long story, but Theo, I don't think she's the one who has been sending you those messages. Then who could it be? Well, it has to be someone that wanted for the case to be cracked, who might have not had a chance to say it to everyone else. Theo, I think the coded messages are from your dad. How did we go from getting messages from her to my dad so quickly? Think about it. Who else would know when to start sending you those messages? And who wanted the case solved that knew about our society? But what now? How do we figure out what really happened that night? Here's what we're going to do. We already have things from the crime scene we still have to look more into. I can do that. We have to work on different things, so meanwhile, Theo, you can look more into what your dad discovered was my grandfather and try to find something he might have left in what was his room 10 years ago. And Ronald, we can't afford for Melissa to know what we're doing, or in the case she already knows, for her to stop us. So you're going to help her with whatever it is she has to do. Are we ready? Like you said, it's now or never. Good luck. What took you so long? Sorry, woke up late. Sure. Well, we don't have all day. Come on, we have to hurry up and get this done. He started with an innocent squeal and asked to be heard. He started to speak what he knew she would do. Mr. and Mrs. Lamont. She had planned what he was not capable of letting her do. Murder. He was guilty. He stopped her. But murder to who? Of course, the only person she wanted to get back at. That's what my dad had to prove. What he didn't say on time. I I'd rather me be the guilty one, knowing I at least tried saving her from becoming something she didn't want to. I understand, and you're still sure that you're not guilty? I want to prove you innocent, but I can't lie and say I didn't get myself into this. But I can say that I know it's not my fault completely. I didn't know what she was doing until I heard something which made me jump to this assumption. What do you mean you heard something? A few days back, I heard a woman's voice saying what she thought was going to happen, and the only person that knew or could have been involved was Melissa. But this means Detective Brooks wanted this to happen, and by letting you know what Anne was planning, with no background context, she wouldn't be a suspect because to the public eye, you would be immediately guilty. I believe that would be right. But we need to prove it with evidence. Is there anything you know of that could help? I received a letter a few days ago. It said what Anne was planning to do and why, but what I realized was that it wasn't Anne's handwriting. Well, we need to find that letter and compare it to something Melissa has written. I'll go find both things. Meanwhile, please stay here and don't leave the room, Mr. Lamont. I'll be back as quickly as I can. Well, that's strange. This isn't in Grandma's handwriting. Mr. Lamont did murder your grandmother, but it was to stop her from murdering someone else, and I think that person was Melissa. Yeah, as I was reading in this letter. It looks like it's addressed to my grandfather, and it's making it look like it's from my grandmother. So someone wanted to make it seem to your grandfather that your grandmother was telling him this, and the only person involved in this is none other than Melissa herself. Well, that's all the proof we need to make Melissa guilty and your grandfather innocent. And all we need is to find Melissa's handwriting. But we still haven't figured out what happened to your dad. That can wait a little longer, but first we have to find the proof we need. Come on, I still have the key to Melissa's room, and I don't know for how long Ron can distract her. Hey, I think I found our evidence. Great, now we need to get out of here before, and I also found this. Why would you do this? I know what happened to him. I'm really sorry, Theo. I'm just glad to have gotten something from him. But now we have proof to make Melissa guilty of not only setting up one murder, but committing another. That is if you're even able to present your case. Well, what are you two waiting for? In front of me, you're going to get to be a part of what I came here for. I'm sorry. I wanted to help, but it's important for me to find out what's in here. Find what? The reason I came here wasn't for you two to figure out your little mystery and become little detectives, but your father left something here neither of us can figure out. A riddle here that we can't solve, but you, my dear, can. And why would we ever help you two? Because one way or another, it could help you two with your little mystery. Shame that you won't ever get to share it with the world. And if you don't help me solve this riddle, what happens to you and your friend will just be as unfortunate as your father's death. A letter and confession was divulged by Ronald. You were the one that told me about the murder? Why did you? I wanted to let you know what was going to happen. I never saw you would react that way. Well, how did you think I was going to react? That I was going to help our little friend after what had happened? After what she was planning? I didn't know any better. How was I going to know you would make him murder her and then you do the same? I ended up losing my friend, our best detective, and the man who had to do the work for me because I couldn't fight back. And done. Come in now. What is going on? We first needed to record your confession to the crime before turning you in. All the evidence was ready, but for a real case, this is the most fundamental piece of evidence. You sweet little. I expected more from you, Ronald. And Tess and Theo, this won't be the last you hear of me. I expected more from you too, Detective Brooks. What was in that letter? I'm the one that let her know what Detective Lamont was planning, and I thought she would get reported or something, but instead she used your grandfather, so I wrote a letter to him letting your grandfather know what was happening, but she found it and threw out the letter. I guess Detective Robinson found it, but it was too late then. Thank you, Detective McKinney, and to you two as well for reporting the case and making it finally a solved one. Would it be alright for you to appear as a head story for tomorrow's newspaper? This will be all over town, you know. I'm good, but instead, could I help write the story? Oh, I don't see why not. I'm good as well. Instead, could I... Of course, that's a great idea, in fact. Well, I think it's time for us to leave. They're going to clear out and use the room for the news and evidence. It's finally a case closed, and without you two, I don't think it would have been. So this is goodbye? Just for now. Until next time, Detective Robinson and Detective Lamont. Well, turns out you were right when you said it was now or never. Guess so. Well, now that the case is solved, what are we going to do next? Just like this one, I think we wait for our next big case. Well, you won't be seeing me tomorrow. I'll be working to make my big debut in an office. Thanks for convincing me to do this. I don't think I would have sparked up the courage to even think about solving a big case. Nah, you would have done it on your own either way, that's for sure. Well, I'll see you around. See you around, Tess. I finally have something other than toast. I was starting to like the toast though. Another crossword? Welcome to Belmare's last riddling game.
Oh,